So in one of my other videos, I made some parts using HDPE plastic, and I had a viewer comment on the bottom, and he said it'd be kind of cool to make a part out of a creepy crawler mold. And I don't know if you guys remember, but it seems like maybe the 80s and the 90s, there was these kits, and they were called creepy crawlers, and they were basically like little ovens that you put some goo in, and you put the things in the oven, and it would bake them. And then when you pulled the tray back out, if you didn't get burnt and you were lucky, you had a cool little toy to play with. Usually they were like spiders and bugs and worms and things that were, kind of gross that little boys liked. Before that, in the 60s, they actually had the same device, and it was called a thing maker. It also made creepy crawler type stuff, but ironically, I found this Mickey Mouse mold on eBay, and I thought, hey, it'd be kind of cool to see if maybe we can make this mold and use HDPE plastic in it and see what we can get done. So I thought that I would use milk jugs since they're readily available. I don't know if one milk jug will fill this mold or not, but we're going to try. And we're going to take this jug, cut it up with the scissors into little strips. We're going to put it in this pan, and we're going to bake it at 350 degrees till it liquefies, and then we're simply going to try to jam it in a mold kid style. We'll see how that does. I don't know. It might work. I'm a little more concerned that I'm going to trap air when I jam it in a mold. I'm also concerned that it might not come back out of the mold, but what do we got to lose? Let's try it. So I have the milk jug cut up into pieces about, that size, give or take a few. And I'm just going to stick this in the oven and let it toast for a good maybe 20 minutes or so till it liquefies. And what I'm hoping is I'll get something like I had on my first HDPE video where I can kind of mold it with my hands and it feels like silly putty. I just don't know if a milk jug is going to give me the same consistency, but we're going to try. I've also placed the actual creepy crawler mold or the thing maker mold in the oven as well, because I want to make it hot. So when I kind of jam this down in the mold doesn't make it solidify too quick. So it's been about a half an hour, and you can see the milk jugs have turned from opaque to clear, so it's a good sign that that is melted. Hopefully my mold is also up to temperature after half an hour. I'm sure it is. And I'm going to take some gloves, and we'll take this out to the workbench and see what we can do. Interesting enough, you can see where it's already starting to cool down. It's literally been out of the oven just for, I don't know, less than a minute. And it's starting to cool down, but we're going to see what we can do and try to work with this. It's very hot. Okay. Let's see if we can jam this in the mold. I don't think it's going to work, but we're going to try it. So, okay, that's hot. So definitely need the gloves. Try to get it down here around the edges and in the face. Hopefully the mold is still hot too, so we can get this stuff to kind of ply down in there a little better. So now I think probably what we should have done is put a board and maybe a C-clamp and C-clamp this together. But, we'll just see how she comes out, how it turns out. Maybe we'll do another one. Okay. So I think now we'll run it underwater and we'll see what shape we have on our mold. So I ran it underwater to cool it down, and you can see the plastic turned opaque again, and then we'll just pull it out of the mold. It's still very warm, and we'll take a look, and you know what, that didn't turn out real bad at all. Actually, that turned out really good. So if somebody wanted to, they could sand the back side of this off, and you would have a perfect replica of Mickey Mouse there, kind of old school style. Maybe we could use different colors and make different colors Mickeys, or maybe we could use different types of plastic, like in the shirt area and in the ear area, and make a colorful Mickey. But I think I'm going to go cut this out, and we'll see what we got. Here's the product after running it through the scroll saw, and I just kind of whittled right around all the little corners and trimmed it out as best I could. I suppose I probably could have laid it on a sander and just kind of sanded the back down until it kind of came through, but it was just as simple to trim around it. I am kind of surprised at how much detail came out between the mold and the actual product itself. There is some losses in the ears, and I think it was because the actual HDPE hadn't been melted enough, or it cooled down a little bit when I put it in the mold. But other than that, it turned out pretty good for a first time shot. I might take my pocket knife and just kind of whittle some of the edges down and clean it up just a little bit more, and probably put some magnets on it and stick it to the fridge. We'll see what other kind of cool toys we can make with HDPE. If you like these types of videos, the do-it-yourself type and experimentation, please like and subscribe to this channel, and you might be surprised what's next.